But here we go into game one. This winner's quarters match between BX3's Lanz and BX3's Ephi on the Great Hall, no less. I think this is the first time we've seen the Great Hall tournament. We're going right into it.
Interesting map pick. The rise of land on this map. Yeah, I don't know where this will end. I feel like Lanz has the upper hand.
Ooh, yeah, finds that ground pound immediately on Ephi, but Ephi goes in with a spear, goes from a neutral light into a down light, or down air rather. Lanz goes in for a side air, down sig. Both players just kind of spacing each other out right now, not really going for any strings. Ephi gets that side air, he gets it onto Lanz, goes in for a neutral air, but Lanz is actually able to punch the down sig, weapon toss into a recovery, puts Ephi into the orange, and Lanz is doing a decent job being able to keep damage equal, which is in his favor, in my opinion, when it comes to Ephi and Ada.
Ooh, you hate to see that happen. If he tries to do max range space him out, but he barely misses it by like almost a centimeter, and then gets hit by the side sig. But wow,
Ephi actually manages to get that unarmed neutral sig and gives his little robot friend high five, and his Lanz goes for a weapon, but it's just the bomb. Tosses it onto the ground and just deactivates in its own place. And Lanz finds his weapon of choice, goes in for 2 down airs in a row, neither one connecting, but Ephi not finding anything on Lanz either. Ground pound actually comes out as Lanz dodges in, going for those dodge reads that he likes so much. Wow! Actually gets that neutral air and goes for a ground pound follow-up, but doesn't actually connect on Lanz. Tries to go for a down
hits
sig.
are being tossed out, but none are actually connecting right now.
Ooh, tries to go in for a reverse nair. Ephi's ready to punish with the D-light, but Lanz throws out a side air into down air, doesn't connect, but puts him in a position to go for a recovery. Finds that side light into a down sig, and actually Ephi, being put into the red, nearly recovers into that Lanz, and he has to force it aside. He's out of jumps.
And that is the end of that stock. Wow,
That was such a great edge guard from Lanz, right? Because if Ephi recovered into that Lanz that was falling down and was going to hit him in the head, it would lead into a kill move. He had to go to the side, didn't get his jumps back, and Lanz was able to punish with the side air, and he didn't need to do anything else to end Ephi's stock. Great offstage play from Lanz, being able to punish Ephi's poor recovery options, and Ephi finds himself at a stock disadvantage, gets that side light into a recovery, puts Lanz into the red and high. Ephi tries to end it with a ground pound, but doesn't hold it long enough. If he held it longer, that would have been a stock, and Lanz is able to punish him with that as he finds a side light, and Ephi is being put closer and closer to the orange.
And wow, Ephi takes him out with a typical neutral sig.
Yeah, that's odd.
I really like that.
I've never seen that move kill either, because I always see moves like that coming out from Ada. I think Amber has it similarly with her down sig on the bow, but I rarely just see them use that to cover space rather than actually get a KO. So it's kind of cool to be able to see Ephi space that properly. Lanz is killed out by that gun's end sig, and we're evened up 1-1.
I feel like at this point Ephi just needs to get the single hits in and just space Lanz out at max distance rather than actually challenging it. And he has the win condition right there, but doesn't seem like he wants to be doing that, and Lanz is just controlling the match perfectly fine.
Lanz uses that side sig for mobility, tosses the Lanz away, tosses another Lanz into Ephi's face, and Ephi disarms himself, but no, actually catches the spear on the way up and finds that side air. Lanz still barely taking any damage, goes in for that weapon toss and recovery, sends him into the red, another weapon toss recovery, that will do it.
Lanz is a heavy enthusiast of throwing down and throwing up. He will do it over and over and over again, and it's great to see. It's very solid, as you can see, to get him the finish that he needs. That's it.
First game goes to Lanz, as you predicted in Ephi. I would be interested to see whether or not he goes for a legend switch, bring out the Diana earlier on in the tournament. Lanz definitely probably going to be sticking with the Scarlet. We'll see what goes on in just a little bit. There's a Diana, as I was thinking. And I'll be going into this first match in just a second.
All right. So welcome to the Extra Show. Once again, I will be taking you on with this game. Our play-by-play casting is not the best, but you know, we'll try. Right. Starting out with the game, Ephi gets the weapon, and I feel like there's echo, and I don't want to be speaking if there's echo. That's not too good. But yeah, Ephi with the massive damage string. Starting out with the game really solidly. Getting these strings over and over again, and Lanz already orange. Not looking too good for Lanz. Any hit right now could probably kill him as well. Ephi though, hunting these ground pounds and getting punished for it heavily. Lanz almost kills him.
Ooh, goes for a ground pound right there, but the weapon toss from the hammer comes out, and Lance is actually able to make it out with his life. Goes for a neutral air. I feel like that's supposed to be a cider, and a stop cider actually disarms Ephi, puts him into the shenanigans zone, but Ephi gets punished by recoveries. He goes deep unarmed.
And a random recovery appears just as Taza comes back. That's great to see. But yeah, this match has been going very interesting. Oh, Ephi with the ground pound though. Early on, Ephi had a huge lead, takes him from white to or almost like red. Almost takes a kill as well, but Lanz just comes back as quick as possible. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's always unfortunate to be able to see players disrespect the hammer recovery. I know I'm definitely a victim of that all the time. Whenever you're going off stage with whatever weapon it is that you have, unarmed or otherwise, if you try to fight against that hammer recovery and you don't space it correctly, you're going to get stomped. And it lands, actually finds a cider down air into neutral air and puts a decent amount of damage on the Ephi's Diana, puts him into the orange with the second down air there, and Lanz goes for that GC neutral sig, doesn't quite work out. Another neutral sig put out into another down air, and Lanz is completely controlling the map right now with this hammer. Ephi not being able to get in with the bow.
Almost losing kind of his jumps, but remembers, uses the recovery, and we have a lot of dogs barking in the background. Let's go.
Well, it's not being picked up in the stream. Shh, don't talk about the dogs yet. Hold on. I'll be able to deal with that in just a second stream.
Oh, I got it. So... I can't. The dogs barking in the background is too much. Back to the game though. Lanz is in a heavy lead. Ephi cannot get the hits he needs right now. And it seems like Lanz is set to take. Lanz doing a lot of weapon throws, getting these free combos, and that is the side stick almost takes him out. Lanz comes in with the recovery. The dogs are being abused. Something is going on. Someone call Peta. Yeah. Moving on. Almost ends up taking Lanz stock with that, but Lanz does a really cheeky recovery. Hits him with a dare, almost goes for a ground pound. Ephi takes him out with a gun recovery, but it is so close at this point. Anything will kill Ephi. And it must be nerve-wracking. It is the last game of the set if he loses, so he cannot afford to lose this. But still manages to go really aggressive.
Running him back, and Ephi, seemingly in the red, lands. Tries going for a cider, but a downer comes out, interrupts him from being able to do that, and a ground pound actually connects. Another downer coming on, and he's bringing this back. Lands, no, gets the recovery.
Oh my god! All right, listen. Props Ephi to doing that, but dude, you're red. You're actually so red that like my little finger could just touch you and you die, right?